What do you do when a friend, a client comes to you and says, my child has an involuted or ingrown nail? The answer is Onyfix. We're gonna use Onyfix Soft, which is a universal nail correction system that I'm going to be able to use to correct his involuted nail while also teaching him how to properly cut his toenails. You guys are really gonna enjoy this. One of the coolest things about Onyfix is it can work on our immune compromised, our diabetics, as well as our kids. So today I'm really excited to jump in and show you guys how I can take my model today, who's 8 years old. He is already feeling some pain in his large toe, his great toe, and that can be because of genetics, that can be because of improper footwear, and that also can be how he's cutting his toenails. So today is gonna be a learning moment about how to properly cut our toenails, as well as to give him some relief. I am so grateful to his mom. Big thank you for connecting with me so that I can reduce this pain so it's not something that he continues to live with for the rest of his life. So the first thing I'm gonna kill is all those stinky microbes on your feet. So you don't have to worry about them smelling bad, okay? So this little spray, and it's gonna kill all that bacteria. So let's go ahead and talk about what you're experiencing with your foot. So let's dive in, and you said that this is actually called your great toe, and what your mom has told me is that you're experiencing some pain, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. So can you show me? You can point to it right there. Are you experiencing any on the other side? Yeah? So like when I go like this, I'm gonna be really gentle, but can you feel like some pressure? Does it feel discomfort?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really cool because you actually cut your own toenails, right? Yeah. Do you think that you're cutting them so low because that you're feeling pain and you're trying to cut them out?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, what if I told you I can literally just put like a little band right there and that pain's gonna go away?
Right.
Is that exciting? Awesome. I'm so glad that you told your mom that you were experiencing pain because sometimes you would just think that's normal, right? Way to go. Now I can see why he is cutting them so low because he's got this little spike right here and it's going down into the tissue. So that's probably why you're cutting them so low. See a little bit of that nail spike right here. Let's go ahead and look at the other side right here. So you feeling pressure right there? Yeah, I can see that the nail plate is going down. So this is not an ingrown toenail, right? Because the tissue is not growing up on top of the nail plate. However, it is an involuted nail and there is pressure. So we're gonna use Onyfix Soft. The reason that I'm gonna use Onyfix Soft today is because he is a kid. But before we get into that, I'm gonna go ahead and do my prep. So this is how I introduce somebody new to e-filing because trust builds long-lasting clients. So I want to build that with my young clients. So, hey John, is it okay if I use this bit on your hand real quick so you can see how it feels? Okay. How's that feel?
Good.
It's easy, right? Would it be okay if I did that on your toe?
Yes.
All right. So I am using the small tapered barrel, and normally I would run it at a low speed and push into this proximal fold. However, since he's really tight right here and has a lot of overgrown, and so I'm actually going to increase my RPMs to about 10,000. I'm going to lay it flat. So I want to run at higher speed because I don't want it to shred. What I want it to do is just to grind right off. And that's why I use Diamond, because Diamond is an exfoliator. It's just scratching it. John, how's it feel?
It's good.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy?
Yes.
Fantastic. And look, it's gone. I just made your nail plate even larger. All right, now that I've removed a majority of it, I'm now going to reduce my RPMs and I'm going to kind of just sculpt a prettier shape, okay? So here I'm going back in. Does this feel different now? It's because I reduced my RPMs. So what I'm just doing right now is I am prepping your nail. How's everything feel? A little ticklish? You're doing great, buddy. So because I ran at a lower speed, this skin right here didn't just pop right off. If this was somebody who had thicker toenails, I would have ran that 10,000 RPMs with a tapered barrel at a higher speed. But since his nail plates are so thin and I'm building that confidence, I wanted to go on the lower side. But a result of not using a higher speed is I have more dead tissue that has been lifted. So I'm just gonna go in with my nippers and just cut that off. All right, John, what I'm just doing right now is I'm using little cuticle nippers. Have you seen these before?
Yes.
You have? So this would be something that I don't recommend you do at home. Don't take your mom's nippers, okay? You can always come back and see me and I'll give you a pedicure. How's that sound?
Deal.
Deal! Awesome, I like it. You've already negotiated this YouTube video. So one of the most important things when we are prepping the nails is to make sure this area right over here, this is actually called the sinus area. We want to make sure it's really cleaned up because this is important for the band adhesion. So I see a little bit of buildup right here. That means I'm either going to take my unicorn or my micro taper and I'm going to run it at about 10,000 RPMs and just clean that up a little more, okay? I'm doing some additional cleanup in that sinus area for you, buddy. That way your band will be nicely applied. Sound good? Awesome. Gonna remove those dead skin cells we've already prepped. So now we're ready for some product application. All right, so before we get started, we're actually just gonna shape your toenail some. Let me know if there's any discomfort, okay, buddy? Because we're pretty low. But we're gonna smooth that edge. So can I give you some tips on how to cut your toenails? Yeah. How do you first think you should cut your toenails? Like, what do you think?
Short.
Kind of long, kind of short? Like, so like a medium length?
Yeah.
Okay, and should they be rounded or square?
Rounded.
Why do you think that?
I don't know.
Because like, let's think about it. Did your parents ever teach you how to cut your toenails? Or one day you were like, I'm gonna cut my toenails?
One day I was like, I'm gonna cut my toenails.
Exactly, me too. So that's usually what happens is we see kids start cutting their toenails. And actually, John, we wanna cut them straight across. Because if we go too low and we don't cut them straight across, what can happen is that nail plate doesn't have a brain. So it doesn't know to grow down or out. So if they get too short, then what can happen is they start growing down into the tissue instead of out. So the first thing we want to do after we have shaped the nail, we have roughed the nail for application, and now we're going to use our Onyfix primer. It is so important to use the littlest amount. Just drop a dab of that inside your cap. Make sure you're using a clean Q-tip. So here we are, Q-tip, primer, and we're just going to rub it all over the nail plate. If it gets on the skin, just flip over your cotton ball and clean that up. So the cuticles aren't perfect. That's one of the disadvantages usually of little kids is their skin is moist, it's overgrown. So I'm just doing the best that I can. This is real life nails and not the pretty, perfect Instagram photo, but it's gonna be functional and it's gonna give them relief, okay? So let it cure for 60 seconds. You wanna keep it about 2 inches away. You're not supposed to look at the light, but it doesn't hurt you. It's not like you're gonna have like retina damage. Perfect! After 60 seconds, we are now ready for Anifix. So Anifix soft or Anifix hard? That is the question. What do you think, John? Are we gonna go hard or are we gonna go soft?
Soft.
We are gonna go soft. Did you hear us talking about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are gonna use soft. Soft and hard are the same. The only difference is the viscosity, so that's the thickness. Because he is a child and his nail plates are very thin, hard does better on rigid nails. This is not a rigid nail. This is a flexible nail. Therefore, I'm going to use soft, all right? So I make sure I put a brand new cannula. Those are disposable, and I'm gonna do everything in layers. So actually, I'm gonna use your help, John. I'm gonna turn the light on, and right now when I say light, you put it over your toe. Sound good? We can do this together. Boop, boop. Okay, so here I am. I wanna get this back. I wanna get the little bridge as far back to that proximal fold, and I have found the best way to do that because this product is very runny to do thin layers and build up to that 2 millimeter band. All right, John, light. Good job. Now this is important. You need to retract the plunge so product doesn't continue to spill out. And you wanna make sure you don't keep your tip down there or it'll set up and cure inside the tube. Those are just some pro tips from somebody who's made the mistake before. This is a particular light just for Anifix. So make sure you have that ready and it's fully charged, okay? All right, so you guys can see the band is really, really thin. I'm now gonna go ahead and push down on the little plunger and I'm gonna create another layer. I'm building that band up so that it's 2 millimeters by 2 millimeters. If you get air bubbles, just pop them and put product down. We wanna get it as close to the sinus and lateral fold without touching the skin, okay? All right, go ahead, John, go. I'm gonna pull back. We wanna make sure that the product does not touch the skin. Just like nails, it will lift, okay? Fantastic, and we're gonna let that cure for 60 seconds. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. I absolutely love having kids in the studio and them getting excited about good foot care, okay? One of the things behind the scene is that my model today was really embarrassed about his feet, and this is just a good reminder that foot shame can start at a very young age. So giving all those comfy words of letting your client feel like they're in control, whether they're 8 years old or 88, is extremely important. Hey, if you guys want to see more content like that, make sure you like and subscribe, but hey, tell a friend that might be struggling with involuted nails. We're here to help.